Hi folks, Gordy Termullen of Termullen Motor Sales here for another episode of our Game Plan 2020. But first, I'd like to share something with you. Today, the 15th of May, is our 80th anniversary in the car business. So my dad started in 1940 in a Hudson dealership in Rockford, Illinois, and every year since then there's been a Termullen in the car business for 80 years now. So it's a special day for us. So here we are on Game Plan 2020 on episode 2 of part 2 of our series. And we're talking a little bit about selling. And what I want to encourage you to consider is, what do you do? What are your steps to a sale? Do you have a map so that your employees know exactly what they're to do when they take care of your customers? First, something to consider. The average salesperson, all salespeople, sell 4 things when a customer comes in. You might think, well, we're just selling a car. What are you talking about? Okay. Well, first of all, the first thing that you sell is the brand. So your customer may have a preconceived notion. They may come to you specifically because of the brand that you represent or the one that's on your lot. They may say, well, yeah, my uncle always bought Toyotas and they're great, or Grandpa Fred bought a Ford and he had a bad experience, whatever the case might be. But your job is to reinforce the value of that brand as the superior intelligent purchase. The second thing that you sell is your dealership. Now, if you're a salesperson watching this, I hope you know how your boss got into the business and why your boss got into the business and how they do business, because that's a part of the story that makes you unique. The brand can be gotten anywhere, but the dealership, there's only one. And you want to be able to tell your customer why you work for this place and why you think it's a great place. Okay? The third thing you sell is yourself. So if you're a salesperson, what we don't want the customer to do is picture you as just a car salesman trying to get their business. So the way you do this is real simple. You've got a life, you want to share that with your customer. If you're a Rotarian, put a copy of the 4-way test out. If you've got a long history in the car business, put your awards, photos of your past customers, things of that nature. The plaque from the soccer league or something about your church, so that they start to see you as a person and not just somebody that's wanting to transact business with them. And then the fourth thing that you sell, the most important, the thing that they can't get anyplace else, this is very, very critical, you sell the service experience. Well, how do you do that? If you've got a service department, you walk your customer back there and you introduce them to a service advisor and you show them all the tools and equipment that you've invested in, and you talk about the training that your technicians go through to service cars. What you find is this is something that the customer can't get anyplace else. It is unique to you. And so that encourages them to be more likely to come back and do business with you long term, so customer loyalty, as well as it increases the value of doing business with you. So those are the 4 things you sell. Now, your sales path or your way to a sale, whatever you may call it, is going to vary from dealership to dealership. Some places have 3 steps, other places have 20 steps. In my dealership, we've got 11 steps, okay? But it should follow a logical, comfortable, emotional process that a customer goes through so that they can be confident making a major expenditure with your dealership. So you want to include steps in there by getting to know them and asking them questions and demonstrating your product, displaying product knowledge. Certainly there's a lot to do with negotiation and so forth. One of the things that I would strongly encourage you to make sure is in your selling process is a high gain question. Now, what am I talking about when I say high gain? Usually when you're talking to a customer, you're going to ask them, well, what are you looking for? What kind of payment? What's your budget? What are you going to do with the car? Things of that nature. But the high gain question, after you've established rapport and you're comfortable with one another, the high gain question is something like this. George, of all the things we've talked about, what's the very most important thing to you about the next car that you buy, or about the way that you buy, or the selling process? And what you're looking for them to tell you is that one thing that matters the most. From that point forward, every single thing you do, whether we're talking price, value, the product, whatever, has to include that high gain point so that you're addressing what's of greatest concern to your customer. What you'll find is that will increase the likelihood of the customer closing a sale with you, and it'll increase your value to them, therefore your gross profit. So think about that as you're selling your customer. Now next week, we're going to talk about sales measurements and coaching and how to get your sales staff on a professional level. Until then, good selling.